Your subconscious mind doesn't argue with you. It accepts what your conscious mind decrees. If you say, I can't afford it, your subconscious mind works to make it true. Select a better thought, a decree. I'll buy it. And the mind will accept it. Many of us have beliefs that limit us to our success, whether they're beliefs about our own capabilities, beliefs about what it takes to succeed, beliefs about what we should realise with other people. Good morning, Anne-Marie. Or even commonly everyday myths, or modern day science, or research studies that have since refuted. Moving beyond our limiting beliefs is a critical first step to becoming more successful in what we do every day. You can learn how to identify those beliefs that are limiting and then replace them with positive ones that support your success. Remember, you are capable of this. You've got 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, a brain, and 2 ears, and a mouth. You're exactly the same as the billionaire or the millionaire or whoever it is you think successful. So you can do it. That's the reality. It's a thought process. That's all it comes down to. One of the most prevalent and destructive limiting beliefs is the notion that somehow we're not capable of accomplishing our goals. Despite the best educational materials available, and despite decades of recorded knowledge about how to accomplish any task, we somehow choose to instead say, I can't do that. I don't know how. There's no one to show me. I'm not smart enough. And on and on. Does that sound familiar? Where does this come from? For most of us, it's a matter of early childhood programming. Whether they knew it or not, our parents or grandparents and other adult role-like models told us, no, honey, that's much too much for you to handle. Let me do that for you. Maybe next year you can try that. We take this sense of inability into adulthood as well, where it gets reinforced through workplaces, mistakes, and other failures. But what if you decide to say instead, I can do this. I am capable. Other people have accomplished this. If I don't have the knowledge, someone out there surely can teach me. You make that shift from competence to mastery. The shift in thinking can mean that difference between a lifetime of could have dones and accomplishing what you really want in life. Likewise, many people don't believe they are competent to handle life's challenges and are actually worthy of love. Yet these two beliefs are the main pillars of high self-esteem. Believing you are capable of handling anything comes up in your life means that you're no longer afraid to do anything. And think about this, if you haven't handled everything that has ever happened to you, things that are far more difficult than you thought they would be, the death of a loved one, divorce, being broke, loss of a friend, your job, your money, your reputation, your youth. These things were tough. But you handled them. And you can handle anything else that happens to you as well. Once you do that, your confidence will begin to soar. Believing you're worthy of love means that you believe I deserve to be treated well, with respect and dignity. I deserve to be cherished and adored by someone. I am worthy of an intimate and fulfilling relationship. I won't settle for less than I deserve. I will do whatever it takes to create that for myself. I often say to people, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect anyone else to? And that's the key. Right there. That's all it takes to you building your self-confidence and your self-worth. You can overcome any limiting belief. We suffer from other limiting beliefs too. I mean, do these sound familiar? Let's look at this. I'm not smart. I'm not rich. I'm not old. I'm too young. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy. I'm not safe. Life is hard. They'd never pick me to head the project. Even if I don't like this job, I need the financial security. Nothing I do is ever successful. Imagine that statement you tell yourself, nothing I do is ever successful. Guess what your mind's programming you for? Nothing you do is ever successful. Wow. Everything you do every day is successful. I get up, I'm instantly successful because I've got a pulse. I'm still alive. That's all it takes if you think like that. You can't get rich in this profession. There aren't any good men left in this town or any women left in this town. I'm too late, I'm over the hill. These are all things that sound familiar, but you're instantly programming your mind and programming your brain. It is a computer. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. So how do you overcome any limiting belief? Well, there's a powerful 4-step process. You can choose to transform any limiting belief into an empowerment belief. First, identifying the limiting belief that you want to change. Start making a list of any beliefs that you may have and you might think are limiting. A fun way to do this is invite 2 or 3 friends who would also like to accelerate their growth and join in your brainstorming. A list of all the things that you've ever heard growing up, your parents and guardians and teachers and coaches, and even your well-meaning religious teachers that might have somehow still led you to have a limiting belief, and they've said over the years. Here are some common ones and the limiting beliefs that grow out of them. Here's a classic. Money doesn't grow on trees. Instantly tells you, I'll never be rich. Can't you do anything right? Instantly tells you, I can't do anything right, so why even try? Children should be seen but not heard. I used to hear that all the time. I need to be quiet if I want to be loved. That's what comes across in somebody's mind. Eat everything on your plate. The children around the world are starving. I should eat everything on my plate, even if I'm not hungry. I still can't get away with that one sometimes. Conditioning from childhood. You have to break it, or you'll never succeed or get what you want. Boys don't cry. It's not okay to share my feelings, especially my sadness. That's instantly what it tells you. Another one is act like a lady. It's not okay to be playful. That's what it immediately gives the impression to the younger generation. The only person you ever think about is yourself. It's not okay to focus on your needs. That's instantly what it tells you. Here's another one. You're not smart enough to go to college. It instantly tells the person, I'm stupid and I'm not college material. Well, that's not actually true, because how can a guy like me get thrown out of school in 5th year, but go into college in my early 20s and 3 years in a row be the top student? What does that tell you? Point of readiness. It's never over. Here's a classic. We used to be told this years ago. I don't know if it applies now. If you're not a virgin, no one will marry you. And that instantly says to the person, I am damaged goods and no one will ever love me. People aren't interested in your problems. That means I should hide what else is really going on with me. That's how people suffer in silence, because they've been told that when they're younger, or still told that today, and they still think that, and it still goes round in their mind. What you constantly say to your children will live with them forever. Nobody's interested in your opinion. Have you ever heard that one before? And that really comes across as what I think isn't important. I mean, these are all things, are limiting beliefs that you need to change. When you're finished creating this list, pick a belief that you still think is limiting you and take yourself through the remaining 3 steps of the process. And these are: determine how the beliefs limit you. Decide how you'd rather be, act, or feel. Create a turnaround statement that affirms or gives you the permission to be, act, and feel this new way. Here's examples. My negative belief is I have to do everything by myself. It's not okay to ask for help. It's a sign of weakness. Here's another one. The way it limits me is I don't ask for help and I end up not meeting deadlines, staying up too late, and not making enough time for myself. So that's to determine how the limiting belief gives you. So the statement you say to yourself is, my negative limiting belief is, I have to do everything by myself. It's not okay to ask for help, and it's a sign of weakness. So determine how that limits you. Is the way it limits me is I don't ask for help, and I end up not meeting deadlines, staying up too late, and not making enough time for myself. And here's decide how you'd rather act, feel, or be. The way I want to feel is that it's okay to ask for help. It does not make me weak. It does take courage to ask for help. I ask for help when I need it, and I want to delegate to others some of the things I don't like doing, and they're not the best use of my time. I tell you what, asking for help is the biggest sign of strength, because it takes determination and getting out your comfort zone, because we're programmed not to do it. So you instantly become stronger with the very fact that you're prepared to ask for help. And the turnaround statement in all this is, it's okay to ask for help. I am worthy of receiving all the support I need. Here are some other statements or examples of turnaround statements. It's not okay to focus on my own needs as a negative point. The turnaround is, my needs are just as important as anyone else's needs. So the negative part is, if I express my true feelings, people will think I'm weak and take advantage of me. A lot of people think like that because over time, they've been hit all the time. And as a result of that, that's why their statements come up about. But please reframe that statement. The more I express my true feelings, the more people love and respect me and support me. There is more people out there. It's just that we're afraid of rejection. I can't do anything right, so why even try, is another statement. Well, reframe that. I can do many things right, and each time I try something new, I learn and get better. The instant process of you feeling uncomfortable about a situation should instantly trigger something in your mind that says to you that I am growing and I am becoming better at what I'm doing because I feel uncomfortable. It is okay to do that. Feeling uncomfortable just means you're doing something for the first time, possibly, and as a result of that, it is a growing experience, and you should celebrate the fact that you're doing that, not look at it as a sign of, I need to get back in my comfort zone. If you stay where you are and you do the things that you have always done for the rest of your life, you'll not go any further than you are just now, because that is your growth so far. You need to do something different and step out your comfort zone to grow more. Once you've created a new belief, your turnaround statement, you'll need to implant into your subconscious mind through constant repetition, several times a day for a minimum of 30 days. 30 days builds up neural pathways in your brain and breaks down old conditioning, but it has to be every single day for 30 days. I have some of my people on staff on 30-day programs just now. Use the affirmation techniques we discussed in previous episodes of Release the Brakes. As Claude Bristol points out in his magnificent book, The Magic of Believing, this subtle force of repeated suggestion overcomes our reason. It acts directly on our emotions and on our feelings. It finally penetrates the very depths of our subconscious mind. It's then repeated, the suggestion, and makes you actually believe it over time.